Hey everybody, Monica, King's Titan Homestead, Monica Mixa King Honey Farm. And again, another video basically about bees. So every time somebody sends a question, I'm thinking about trying to answer that question right here on YouTube. That way I can just send the link in the response. So here we go. This morning I received a text message to do a bee removal out of an irrigation box. And it's a really small colony. And the person had lifted the cover off and allowed them to be exposed. So the quotes were all over the place at 175 to 375 for the removal, and they were reaching out to me to see what I could do. I do that size for about 150, but that's not what people were wanting. People are wanting the job for free. So I explained to them why this can't be done for free. Not only is my truck at 303,000 miles and right now, as we speak, needing a new steering, power steering pump. So yeah, cha-ching, cha-ching, and I can't find a mechanic to do that stuff for free. So I have to charge for all the travel that I do. I'm not making a bunch of money by charging this. I don't have money to go out and buy a brand new truck at 303,000 miles, and we know she's not gonna last a long time, but that's beside the point. We won't even talk about my truck. Let's talk about the bees and what it takes to get the bees reestablished. So these are gentle bees. They're really nice bees. They're not aggressive. No, not yet. They get defensive and they turn defensive unpredictably over time as they get larger normally. Some of the small ones have been defensive on their own without even being large, but that's not the average. The average is that when they're small, they tend to not be as defensive, and that's cool. But here in southern Arizona, we have a wonderful United States Department of Agriculture lab called the Carl Hayden Research Center. And they, I believe it was in 2008, and I know those that have been watching this before know what I'm about to say. They did genetic sampling for the feral colonies from the Mexico border to the south rim of the Grand Canyon, and they found out that 98% at that time were Africanized hybrids. So when a beekeeper brings those bees in, most of us want to requeen them. We don't want to work with these potentially dangerous girls. And I'm going to say about 1 out of 20 of those colonies, once they get to a pretty good size, with the average being about 40 to 60,000 bees, when they get to that, 1 in 20 want to kill me. The rest of them are all in between. Some of them are very workable and others are a little crazy but can't be in a residential setting. And that's the big thing. They can't be in a residential setting. Have you guys heard about the poor horses that were just killed over in Texas? Did the homeowners know that they had an established colony inside their tree? Was it an established colony or was it just a swarm? All these things are not things that were answered by the media. So I don't know. But the thing is, it killed 3 horses. So these are things that we need to remove from a residential setting and get out into a rural area, get their genetics changed and put them in the hands of agriculture for pollination services. We also have backyard gardeners that they are hobbyist beekeepers keeping gentle stock right in their backyards in Tucson. And these people are educated on how to keep their bees European. So with that said, all of this stuff comes with an expense. To buy a new queen bee for the average person, just one queen bee, runs around $35 to $40. There's an expense right there. To feed them when we're having environmental conditions that are abnormal, like this year, there's an expense right there. And when is this colony going to be big enough for a honey harvest to give something back to the beekeeper? And at least a year. It takes at least a year to get them reestablished. But what if we just leave them exposed and we allow the elements to beat down on them? Oh, they're going to abscond. And they likely will. You're right. They likely will. But where are they going to go? They're going to go to another home where the homeowner immediately is going to do spray and kill them, extermination, an immediate call to an exterminator and not to a beekeeper. And people want to save the bees, but yet they don't want to help beekeepers save the bees. There's an expense involved, and we cannot take that expense on. Beekeepers are not nonprofit organizations, and I don't think you should be in order to go out and gather bees. You should not be, because it is a service provided for a fee so that someone can make a living and send their kids off to college and put food on their kids' tables. This is a profession, and a profession should get compensated. So with that said, what's happening? Next week, we're going to be 105 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 3 days. You just sent those bees off into the neighborhood to get reestablished. It takes approximately 8 pounds of honey to create 1 pound of wax. So these bees are going to have to find resources during this nasty weather in order to get reestablished, or they're going to starve. The colony is going to continue to dwindle, and they're going to die on their own. So no matter what, by not putting those bees into the hands of a beekeeper, you basically chose extermination. That's okay. I mean, it's not like we didn't lose 1.9 million colonies last year in the commercial beekeeping industry. Things are getting so tough out there for those bees and all pollinators. When you can, if you can afford to help us save the bees, please choose live removal and relocation. And thanks for watching. Bye.